Thank God it's Monday. Wouldn't it be great if you felt that way every Monday morning and every one of your team members did as well? Hello, FASTSIGNS franchisees, it's me again. Last week, I talked about positive leadership and how it helps you and it helps your team. And this is kind of continuation of that very same message. We all want work to feel positive and engaging. Who doesn't dream of waking up on a Monday morning excited to go to work? Positive psychology explores the science behind positive emotions, since they're linked to all the benefits of improved health, well-being, longevity, and greater quality of life. On the flip side, anger, anxiety, depression, and worry are all related to poor health. So as leaders, we can create an environment where our people feel, thank God it's Monday. Our genes, according to scientists and researchers, our genes are responsible for about half of our happiness levels. Our actions and attitudes account for the other 40% of our happiness. So if our choices and our attitudes have significant impact on our happiness, how do we cultivate and maintain a state of positivity and well-being in the workplace, in our workplace? So positive psychology can be used to increase happiness and satisfaction within the workforce, within your workforce. We spend on average half of our waking hours at work, and many business leaders are starting to acknowledge that instilling these psychological techniques in the workplace will result in very positive outcomes. Not only might staff be more cordial and engaged in the space, but staff productivity is also shown to increase. As an employee or a manager or the leader, you can put these ideas into practice to foster positivity, and then you'll also see improvement in performance, motivation, engagement, original thinking, and conflict resolution skills. So what are some of the ways that you can create this kind of environment so your people are excited to come to work? One is to do things to create positive emotions. People thrive when they're happier. When mood becomes brighter, we set higher goals. We persist longer working towards them. We experience less stress and less fatigue and show better team cooperation and problem solving. But how do we make people happier? Brain scans show that when subjects are instructed to list their gratitudes daily, there is increased activity in the part of the brain associated with happiness. Of course, it's difficult to force feelings of happiness, but when we cultivate that grateful mindset, happiness often comes along for the ride. So here are some really interesting ways organizations have adopted these innovative ideas. As an example, by listing appreciations as a standing agenda item at the beginning of staff meetings, individuals can nominate someone or something for which they're grateful. This culture of gratitude can also decrease stress levels by pausing the rushed reality of work and pausing to give thanks. As an example of a shout out or gratitude to start your daily production meeting, it could be as simple as, I appreciate Julie for printing out the industry sell sheets for me to keep in my car on sales calls. So your outside salesperson might say that at the daily production meeting. Or, I appreciate Mike for cleaning out the installation truck and preparing it for my installs tomorrow. I appreciate Bill who told me about the / in Corbridge so I can find orders and estimates quickly. Or, I appreciate Jenny who set up actions and scripts in Illustrator to increase my productivity. So as you as the leader start at your daily production meeting doing some shout outs about your people, you're then going to find that your people start doing shout outs about each other. This is triggering that gratitude, triggering that activity in the happiness section of the brain. Another way business leaders are creating happiness and positivity in the workplace is to understand the importance of personal relationships at work. Science shows us the greatest way to influence our happiness is to invest in our personal relationships. Evolution has wired us to connect with others for survival. These connections have the power to affect how we feel. So according to research on happiness, our moods are literally contagious. This happens because of mirror neurons in our brains. If your coworker starts celebrating next to you, the cells in your own brain start to fire as if you're engaged in similar celebration behavior. These mirror neurons, developed over the years of evolution, help us understand other people's feelings and intentions. So if you're at work and two staff members give each other high fives and celebrate a win, your brain will fire as if you're involved as part of that celebration. Given that we're wired to connect with others and that we are neurologically affected by watching others, think about watching a movie and feeling those emotions in a movie. It's the same function in our brains. It seems obvious that workplaces should be designed to foster connection and friendships. A recent survey by Virgin Atlantic Airlines showed that 40% of the respondents named their coworkers as the top reason they enjoyed their work. Over 2/3 of the respondents reported not only did those positive relationships increase their productivity, but helped mitigate stress in the workplace. So, the centrality of the relationship between our social connections and our internal happiness cannot be overstated. It's time to get to know the person sitting next to you a little bit better. It's time to get to know all your team members a little bit better. Scott Crabtree, a renowned and experienced leader at Intel, suggests a certain kind of way to get people to know each other. It's called a Pecha-Kucha presentation. Now, in Japanese, Pecha-Kucha roughly means chit-chat, but this is a specific format of a presentation. Usually, each person brings 10 to 20 slides with only photographs on them, and they have 20 seconds to explain each slide. The key here is people can only talk about their personal life. So it's not going to be pictures of what they do at work. It's going to be pictures of what they do in their personal life, or pictures of things that represent what they do in their personal life. The difference was immediate and significant. Scott Crabtree did this with groups of engineers coming together for the first time and did not do it with groups of engineers, and actually measured the difference. And for those groups that did this kind of a presentation sharing about their personal lives, 20 seconds a slide for 10 to 20 slides, those people immediately started treating each other more like collaborators and less like competitors. Crabtree goes on to say that this was the most effective tool he has ever used in quickly building trust and understanding in new team members. As a manager or a team leader, you need to be aware of how contagious positivity and negativity can be, and be aware of the importance of managing morale, because just one unhappy team member can make for a completely unhappy office. While it's unrealistic to skate on happiness alone, work environments can still encourage a work culture of supporting each other when the work gets hard. So help your staff come together and connect by organizing team building events, and encourage people to get to know each other and build genuine relationships. Make it clear to staff that socializing is not only tolerated, but it's also encouraged. Some people will be more positive in their outlook and disposition than others. And those people, those positive people, are really, really valuable to organizations. The trick is to seek out those people, find them, cherish them, and most importantly, spend time with them. Your team could benefit from their sunnier disposition. So in today's video, we've talked about 2 ways to create this "I can't believe it's Monday, I get to go to work" attitude. We've talked about starting every staff meeting with people sharing appreciation for each other. And we've talked about the importance of creating great connection between coworkers. Continued next week, we'll share 2 more ideas. See you then.